Okay, hi everyone. My name's Natalie, and this is gonna be my first video. Welcome to my channel, Life as Nat. It's gonna be about my journey with lupus, and we might do like some pranks, some challenges here and there. But I just want to be able to have a space where girls can find out information because I got diagnosed when I was 13, but we'll get more information as we go along, and we're just going to get into the video. This is a Q&A about having lupus and CVID. The first question is, what is lupus and what are some symptoms? Okay, so I'm going to give the textbook definition. I'll put that in the description box below. But my definition is an autoimmune disease where your body attacks itself and it weakens your immune system. Me personally, my lupus attacked my kidneys, so I have really bad kidney problems at times. Like I said previously, I got diagnosed when I was 13 years old. The way that I found out I had lupus, I literally slept my whole Christmas vacation in Florida. And it was very strange. So on the way back, my mom was just like, I'm going to take you to the hospital. We went to Brooklyn Hospital and they diagnosed me. I was there for, I want to say, 3 or 4 weeks. I also started to gain a lot of weight. Not just like, oh, I'm putting on pounds, but it was water weight. So I looked swollen. So that's also one of the symptoms as well. Other symptoms are weakened immune system. We go outside, we can get sick very quickly. Last year, I had pneumonia 3 times, 4 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. Other symptoms, I'm going to speak for myself because I don't know. Lupus affects everybody differently. So mine, my hair fell out. My appetite goes up and down. Sometimes I'll eat a lot, sometimes I won't. My weight goes up and down. Right now I'm really skinny, but 2 months down the line I could gain a lot of weight, so it's really no way of knowing. Question that I had was, what has my experience with lupus been like versus stereotypes? My experience, I would say it was very well because I had a really good team of support team with my family, my friends, as well as my doctors. A little backstory, I fell off a stage when I was in 4th grade and I broke both of my hips. So I already got introduced into NYU hospital. So for my second opinion, my mom just wanted to make sure like they were correct about me having lupus. I went to NYU and my pediatric rheumatologist was Dr. Philip Kahn. And I went and my blood pressure was super high, guys. Super high. And he was just looking at me. He's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, do you have a headache or anything? And I'm just like, no. Like, I literally felt fine. And he was like, well, I got to send you to the hospital. And I was so pissed. I was like, why? So we get to the hospital. I have to go in the ER. He literally put me straight to the pediatric floor. So I'm sitting there waiting for my room to be ready, and I kid you not, this was literally the last thing I remember. I was sitting in the waiting room, and that's it. The story I was told was that I went into a regular room for about a week, I want to say, and then I had a seizure. So I had a seizure, and I kept having seizures, and I also kept having mini strokes in the back of my head. So I went to ICU for a little while. I woke up in ICU. That's what I remember. I woke up in ICU. I literally had tubes everywhere. It was machines. All my family was around me. And they also diagnosed me with epilepsy at that time because I kept having seizures. Thank God I haven't had a seizure in almost 4 years. So it was really hard. Stereotypes about lupus. I don't really hear a lot of stereotypes about lupus. What I do hear about lupus is a lot of people don't know what it is. And that's really why I wanted to make this channel for people to be able to find out information, you know? How does lupus and CVID interfere with your everyday life? So, when I was younger, it was my lupus more that interfered with my life because I used to get sick a lot. And I used to have to be in the hospital for weeks on end. I didn't graduate on time in high school because I was literally in the hospital so much. It interferes with my friends. It interferes with relationships. It interferes with my own fears. Because for a long time, I didn't want to go outside in the summer because another symptom is you can't be in direct sunlight. So I didn't want to go outside in the summer, and I wouldn't do stuff with my friends. I passed up a lot of opportunities. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I don't want to cry. Because now that I've gotten older, I feel like I missed out on so much things. Has broken a lot of relationships for me as well. I'm 24 years old, and you know, guys think a lot about themselves a lot. They don't think of their words of how it affects somebody else. One of my exes literally flat out told me, nobody's gonna deal with you because of your lupus. And I'm just like, well, damn, you know. And it made me very insecure for a long time. But it's like now, being older, I realized he was the insecure one because he couldn't deal with the fact of how strong I was, you know. My CVID interfere with my everyday life. It interferes with my everyday life because, one, a lot of people don't know what CVID is. CVID is acute variable immune deficiency, I want to say. I think that's what it stands for. Don't quote me. I'll put that in the description box too. But it's basically you have a low immune system. So how that affects my everyday life is, again, I can't just, oh, it's cold outside, let me throw a jacket on, I'm gonna go outside. Or I'm on the train and someone's sneezing next to me, it's okay, I'll fight it off. No, I'll end up sick. And I don't get sick a cold a week. No, I get sick a cold 3 weeks and then end up in the hospital for 3 days. Like, that's how I get sick. Common misconceptions. Common misconceptions, I've only gotten like one, and it pisses me off. Maybe two. And it pisses me off so bad. One, people think if you kiss them, you touch them, or something like that, they will get lupus. Lupus is a disease, not like herpes or something like that, but it's like a disease like cancer, leukemia. I can't give it to you. You can pass it down to your kids, but you cannot pass it down to your kids. Like, it all depends. And then another one would have to be, and I hate this so much, people think, oh, just eat fruits and vegetables and drink orange juice and you'll be okay. No, it's not that simple. When your lupus attacks your kidneys, I can't just drink orange juice and be okay because I have protein spilling. You understand? Because my kidneys aren't filtering the way they're supposed to. So please try to look up on stuff before you be ignorant to the facts because you don't know. My experience as a Black woman with lupus. Like I said, I really haven't had any bad experiences, only like people judging me and stuff like that. That's something that I can get rid of, you know? So it's like being Black, being white, being Chinese, being Asian, we're all one. It affects more women than it does men, I will say that. But it's like, we're strong. We are strong. Man, woman, we are strong. We fight this thing out. We take our medicine, we do our treatments, and we get through it. Like, some people, we lose our battles, and some people, it may be worse. But we're all strong. Like, That's one thing I will say. All my lupus sisters, brothers, we are strong, we are fighters, and we will get through this, and we will find a cure one day. I say medical professionals have treated me differently. The only way they used to treat me differently was when I was younger. I didn't like talking to doctors. I literally would watch them and I would ignore them. I really didn't like talking to doctors. So that's one thing I would say. They want to have pity for you. They always want to feel bad for you. And I understand that depending on the situation, some things I go through. Yeah, I'm 24 and I've had blood transfusions and spinal taps and plasma transfusions. Like, yeah, it's kind of unheard of. But everybody has to live their lives, you know. I don't want people to have pity for me, and that's not why I'm making this video, for people to pity me. I love myself, and yeah, it sucks that I have lupus. Yeah, it sucks I have CVID, but I'm gonna continue to live my life. I'm not gonna let it stop me. Has baking made my life better? So my lupus and just a little bit of me being Natalie, I don't like to eat that much. So I started baking, and I love baking. Baking is my outlet when I'm down about anything, about my lupus or whatever the case may be. Baking is my outlet, you know. That's where I get to express myself. So it has helped so much. It really has made my life better. So with my lupus, it's hard for me to keep a job because I'll be sick for like 2 weeks, and my job really doesn't understand that. So I was able to make a business out of my passion. So that was really good. The hardest part about being a baker with lupus. The hardest part I would say is customers. I love my customers, but a lot of customers do not understand sometimes when you're saying like, look, I can't deliver right now because I don't feel well. Or I'm going to have somebody else deliver because I'm sick. You know, they don't understand that. Or having to cancel orders because you're in the hospital. A lot of people don't understand that. They think you're joking or you're playing or whatever. No, I'm seriously sick. And with lupus, arthritis comes about sometimes. So sometimes my fingers lock and I'll have to stop frosting a cake for like 20 minutes until my fingers unlock. So those are some struggles when it comes to my lupus and my baking. And it keeps me from really putting myself out there completely because I don't want to disappoint nobody. God forbid I do get sick. So it does put a lot on me, you know. Is baking helping or affecting my lupus? That I really wouldn't be able to say because I'm not sure. The only thing I would say is, again, with my fingers locking, I feel like it may be speeding up the process of the arthritis, but that's about it. I don't really know. Like, now I'm just gonna give a little bit. These are not questions I have. I'm just gonna say a little bit for myself. I've really had to grow up a lot. I will say that. You know, when your lupus is active, you get in a flare. My symptoms of a flare are not eating, nausea, vomiting, extreme belly pain. And then you go into the doctor or the hospital and they'll take your blood work, and that's how you find out if you're elevated or not. I just want to say thank you for watching. Please give me some feedback and drop some questions. I'm new at this and I would love to just hear how everybody feels and everything. Okay, thanks. Till next time.